Low-income housing, otherwise known as affordable housing or Section 8. The good news and potential changes coming to the program. I have all the details for you in this video. Let's get right into it. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as all of this information is changing very, very fast right now. I'm watching everything and doing all the research so that you don't need to, and I distill it down into these short videos, which I deliver a few times each and every day so that you can get the latest updates hot off the wire as they're being released. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I truly want to help out in any way that I can. That's why I'm doing this research every day and taking it all down into these short videos. So again, thanks so much for being part of the community. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any videos going forward during this very busy time. All right, thank you so much. Let's get right into the content. So, as all of us probably understand and agree, right now in this country, there is a major housing crisis when it comes to the low income and even the Section 8 program. Simply what's happening is that there's a lot of people out there trying to get into low income and affordable housing units, but the problem is there are not enough affordable housing units, especially right now as rents are going through the roof. There's a lot of people that are struggling with the current situation right now, and there's just simply not enough housing units to go around. However, there may be some changes coming to the program that may actually ultimately give and open up more housing units going forward, which would actually be a really, really good thing for a lot of people out there right now. One quick statistic. Did you know that at any given time in this country, there's about 600,000 homeless people in this country? I don't know. That just seems really weird to me. In a country that we claim to be the richest and most affluent country in the world, and here we are, and we have 600,000 homeless people at any given time in this country. Something seems weird about that to me. But again, that's just my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet, right? But again, I'm not Congress, but unfortunately, it would be nice if they certainly listened to me or people here in the community. But anyway, that's a discussion for a different video. Anyway, just want to throw that out there. I thought it was a very interesting statistic, and I wanted to let you know that that is the real thing that we are dealing with in this country right now. So anyway, let's talk about some of these changes that may be coming to the Section 8 program and or just affordable housing. So let's talk through this. So it all revolves around, yes, the stimulus package. So I know we talk about this a lot, but realistically, there's a lot of different provisions within the stimulus package, otherwise known as the Build Back Better agenda. There's a lot of things in there, and one of them in there is quite a bit of money that's allocated for affordable housing and expansion of Section 8. So we want to talk about this because this could be a really good thing for a lot of people here in the community and those individuals out there who maybe have not discovered this community quite yet. So let's talk about what's actually going on. So in the original bill or version of the Build Back Better agenda, they had $327 billion allocated to open up more affordable housing, expand Section 8, and ultimately build more units and do all kinds of stuff. It was really, really great. However, as a result of them whittling down the Build Back Better agenda down to the skinnier or smaller version of the bill, it went down from $327 billion available down to about $150 billion. So again, it got cut in half by more than 50%. But at the same time, this would still be enough money to open up enough affordable housing units and expand Section 8 to, in theory, take all of those essentially 600,000 people that may be homeless and get all these people into a home. At the same time, those people who are waiting on long waiting lists right now to get into affordable housing or get into the Section 8 program or maybe move into a bigger housing unit, to get all those people and actually take all those waiting lists and make sure that they are no longer there. Therefore, making sure that all these individuals that are low income, fixed income, waiting to get into a Section 8, getting housing vouchers, whatever it happens to be, or maybe even, like I said, getting into a bigger unit, making sure that all these waiting lists are just basically eliminated. Therefore, everybody gets into the housing units that they're waiting for. That would be amazing. I mean, let's be real. I've had conversations with some of you down in the comments section, and I've seen some comments from some of you on previous videos where I've seen, a couple of comments stuck out to me. I saw one person reach out, I think this was in California. The person reached out and said, I was on the list for 10 years to get into a low income or affordable housing unit, and I finally finally just got accepted after 10 years. That's unbelievable. But all across the country right now, regardless of where you're at, it could be California, it could be Texas, Florida, it could be Maryland, I mean, literally Illinois, it doesn't even matter. Anywhere across the country right now, there's just this massive shortfall of housing units that are available for the low income and fixed income. Even across the entire country, to see waiting lists anywhere between a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years is not unheard of. In fact, if you're waiting on a list and it's only 1 year long, that's probably a pretty short amount of time. I mean, let's be real. I think if you've been looking around, you probably recognize this as well. Again, from the research that I've done on this and from what I've read down in the comments section on previous videos, I know that I've seen a lot of you saying, hey, I've been waiting for 3 years, 5 years, I'm still going to be waiting this much longer. So these waiting times are not unheard of at all across the entire country right now. However, with this $150 billion that's available, or that would be available, I should say, as a result of the Build Back Better agenda and the next stimulus package, again, one and the same, Build Back Better agenda and stimulus package, it's the same thing. I'm just calling it two different things right here, but essentially it's the same package. But with this $150 billion that would be available there, essentially it would make sure that everybody that is waiting on a list would be able to get into a home relatively quickly. Now again, there may still be some delay in this because, let's just be real, in the event they actually pass this package, I mean, it's not going to be immediate that this money would be available, the housing units would open up, all these things like this. There's going to be a little bit of a delay, but at the same time, if you're waiting 5 years, it's certainly going to be faster than 5 years. Maybe it's going to be a year. Maybe it's going to be 9 months. Maybe it's a year and a half. We don't really know that quite yet until the money starts flowing. But basically what it would do, it was open up the doors, and basically it would just open up the floodgates to make sure that more landlords out there, more homeowners are willing and incentivized to start accepting Section 8 vouchers, right? So essentially what they want to do is they want to incentivize the homeowners and the landlords who own these properties to start opening them up and incentivizing them to start taking these housing vouchers. That's basically how they would do it, because we already know the government doesn't really get involved with affordable housing. They do a little bit, but for the most part, they incentivize the landlords to actually open up the properties to affordable housing. So that's how they would do it, by incentivizing. In fact, what's actually interesting about this is a few years ago they started something new called the Opportunity Zone. So basically what this is, they identify certain areas around major cities and different areas around each state, and they look at these opportunity zones where basically they say, hey, this is a great opportunity. If investors want to come in here and take out buy some of these properties and open them up for affordable housing and Section 8, we will actually give you massive tax breaks to actually do that. And it's this new opportunity zone that they started implementing just a handful of years ago. So kind of interesting to incentivize people to start opening up these more units for the low income, the fixed income, affordable housing, Section 8, all kinds of stuff like this. So that's basically what the whole program would be, is open up more affordable housing units. Again, one more thing that they'd be doing with this $150 billion or roughly $1 billion is they would actually be establishing more new housing units. So again, if they were going to be going in and building actually new affordable housing units, again, that's going to take a couple years, right? How long does it take them to build maybe, a big neighborhood full of affordable housing, or maybe a big apartment complex or something like this? It's going to take them a very long time to build that. But essentially the whole moral of the story is they want to get that money out there, get the money a-flowing, and that's how this program would actually change and ultimately alleviate a lot of these very, very long waiting lists. So it's very encouraging, but first things first, we need to make sure that Congress actually follows through and passes all of this first. That is the first line of, in this whole line of efforts here, this is what needs to be done first. So before we can actually get the money a-flowing, Congress needs to approve it. So once again, we gotta wait for Congress to do something. And this is typically what happens a lot of times with so many things going on right now that we're watching very closely, is it all comes back to Congress, and we're waiting for them to actually do the approval of all of these bills, the provisions within the bills and everything like that. Once it is passed through the House, through the Senate, signed by the president, then we can actually get the money flowing, and then we can make sure that everybody is taken care of who's waiting on these lists to get into affordable housing. So Anyway, it's actually pretty encouraging. Now we just need to cross our fingers and hope that Congress will actually do something. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's very encouraging to watch all of this. If you are somebody who's waiting on a waiting list, again, I get it. Seriously, the waiting lists are very, very long. I was actually, as I was doing research on all of this, I was looking around the country and different big cities out there, like Los Angeles, San Diego, Austin, Texas. I was looking at just some big cities out there. Seriously, Chicago, Illinois. I mean, honestly, there were some huge waiting lists that I saw. Unbelievable. Again, these are just what I'm finding online. I don't know the exact time frames, but this is just kind of the information that I was finding. The general time frame I was seeing was basically anywhere between 3 and about 6 or 7 years, and some instances were even longer than that. That's a long, long time to be sitting waiting to get into a bigger place or even a place at all, right? Wow. But I mean, seriously, I've seen in the comment section previously on some of the other videos, when some of you have been accepted into these housing units, you're so excited, right? I've seen your comments saying, finally, I've been waiting for so many years and I finally got accepted. This is amazing. I'm finally in my place now. And it feels so good, right? Yeah, how amazing is that, right? So anyway, pretty exciting stuff here. But again, we got to continue watching all of it very closely. We just need to wait for Congress to do something. And again, who knows when that could actually be. But again, I'll watch everything closely as I always do. I'll bring you the latest details as I get them. But again, this is what's in the Build Back Better agenda. However, one more thing I got to throw out there as well is if they continue to whittle down this package even further than it is now, again, anything is up for grabs to be chopped out of the bill. So we got to be very careful about this and just cross our fingers that the final version of the bill will actually still contain some type of funding for low-income housing, affordable housing, Section 8 expansion, things like this. So again, we don't really know, but as Congress gets more details on this and as they continue to possibly whittle the bill down, of course, I'll continue watching it and bring you those details. So I hope you're having a nice day. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward as things are changing so incredibly fast right now, but I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Subscribe, share the video, and go back and check out any of the other 2,200 or thereabout videos right here on the channel. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next update.